Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. Welcome to the Pivotal Podspective. This is a slightly different show we're doing this evening because we've got some big news, haven't we, Adrian?
Yes, we have very big news.
We have some really, really big news, and we're going to tell you all about it in this show. We don't have a guest on this evening. In fact, we actually got let down by a guest this evening, so we're just going to crack on and do the show anyway. But actually, the timing's quite good because we want to tell you about some incredible stuff that we've got coming up, not just for the Pivotal Podspective, but also on Essex Business Radio. So we're going to have a little chat this evening and talk about why we're doing it and the benefit to you guys as the audience. But if you haven't ever seen this show before, and you've never actually heard about what we do, then we're going to tell you a little bit about that as well. Are we actually live right now or not? I don't think we are.
We are live, definitely. We are on your profile.
Yeah. Okay, so we're over here on Instagram as well. So I just thought I'd let everybody know on Instagram what is going on. So the Pivotal Podspective has been going for, how long have we been going now? We've been doing almost
three months, something like that, probably.
Nearly 3 months. And we were on a quest, weren't we, to interview extraordinaires from all over the globe. If you're on the flat Earth, then it's every corner of the globe. But if you're like everybody else and you believe it's a round Earth, then it's everywhere around the world. And we were chatting to people, we were chatting to our guests, we're getting in experts, people that thought they were experts as well, Adrian, right? Not everybody is an expert or an extraordinaire.
Well, we definitely learned something from that. So yeah, let's say.
Yeah, so definitely. So on our quest to find the extraordinaires, we've definitely found that there are a few people that think they are and they aren't. So we are going to level up the show. And in fact, we are going to be moving this from the beginning of September, so the week after next, to 7 p.m. UK time, where Adrian is going to be well happy about that because it's going to be 9 p.m. there, right?
Exactly, yeah. I'm not going to be that sleepy anymore.
Now, it's going to change the times everywhere, obviously, because it's 2 hours difference. Duh. But we're going to be doing it 7 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Be live, but we're going to be having 2 guests coming on with us. Now, we actually had 2 guests the other day, and quite liked that sort of dynamic, didn't we?
Yeah, but just telling you, we would like to have 2 guests from either the same niche domain, whatever you want to call,
sure,
or sometimes even different domains if they kind of interconnect at some point. Just because we want to hear different opinions, and we like a bit of a battle sometimes, just to learn new things from people, you know. And yes, even they could learn from each other, because that's the point of it. We're gonna learn, you're gonna learn, but they're gonna learn from each other because everyone has their own way of doing things.
Yeah, for sure. And it's still going to be, you know, we definitely are on that track for having pivotal ideas, but we also want to be hearing from you guys if you have had to pivot at some stage. It doesn't have to be through lockdown or through the whole COVID pandemic. You may well have been that you pivoted earlier in life, or that you've got ideas from things that you've learned. So pivotal is definitely has been associated with business for the last 3 or 4 years probably, and has been used a lot, which is why we came up with that, wanted that, use that name in what we're doing. It's business related, and you know, you can learn from other people. So whether they've pivoted, whether they've got an idea for you to be able to pivot, or whether they in fact advise their clients, or maybe they've got something brand new they've never done before they think is pivotal, and that will be quite interesting because yeah, that will be quite an interesting show when we get somebody on that thinks they've got something pivotal, and then we have somebody on that's in a similar genre to them, for example, that's an extraordinaire in their field that does have a pivotal idea. So that will be quite interesting. I think we're going to have an interesting dynamic. Now, we are going to be doing some recorded shows. We've got some guests lined up that you know, I would say have got some quite good big following, are reasonably well known in their field, and I feel that we're going to be getting more and more of that going on, Adrian, aren't we? We're definitely going to be getting more people like that coming through.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's what we try to focus on, and now try to get like bigger guests, bigger, you know, with bigger audiences, and they have just a bit more knowledge, let's say, in their domain or in their field of expertise. That's what we're going to try to get, just to try to level up everyone.
Yeah, for sure. And so we're going to have those recorded. Now they're going to be going out at different times, and we're going to be telling you about how that's going to work on Essex Business Radio after we talk about a little bit more about what we're doing with the show. So 7 p.m. guys is going to be going from the beginning of September. What is the date, by the way? The week after next, is it a Tuesday? What is that?
So just a second. Well, now we are on the 28th of August, 20th of August, and it's going to be 27th of August from next week.
Yeah. So the week after on the Tuesday is what date?
The first of September.
1st of September. Perfect. I thought it was. I was just double checking. Hi over on Instagram. Thanks very much for joining us. If you want to see both Adrian and I chatting rather than just watching me with my headphones on and just hearing one side, although you can probably you won't be able to hear Adrian at all, I urge you to go over onto one of 5 Facebook pages, either Adrian Dorobantu, Elliot Brown, Forge Management, Essex Business Radio, or if you're in the Essex Business Radio group, crack on over there, or you can go to YouTube, watch it live, or if you like Twitter, you can go and check us out there as well. We're live across 7 platforms at the moment, or profiles we want to call it. So thanks for joining. Crack on over there, and you can watch the show. Okay, so 7 p.m. It's going to be going from the 1st of September. That's cool. I like that. September's a good date because we have birthdays in September, aren't they? We're both celebrating because we're Virgo.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yes, that's cool. We're going to have two guests on. Now, if you're interested in coming on the show, we want to hear from you. But we are going to be filtering people through a lot more than we did before, because we've had a lot of interest. A lot of people want to come on and chat with us, but we want to get people in certain fields. And I think we'll probably be asking on the show, and we're going to be doing posts on social about who we want to come on, and in groups as well. So if you are interested, then please drop us a message. You can go to the Essex Business Radio Facebook page, click on send message, and then you basically can say, click on get on a show. You can go through some questions there, and if you are a good fit for us and for the show and for our audience, then we'll be in touch. But please crack on and do that. Crack on is the word. I don't. Where's crack on coming from? I have no idea, but no, it seems to be the word, the phrase of the evening. So I'm looking forward to this, Adrian. I'm looking forward to the change. I'm looking forward to us pivoting with the show, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I think, just like we discussed with some of the guests, and we have learned things. We have to optimize them now, and we need to pivot to make them work in a different way, and then take it all over again, analyze, optimize, and pivot again.
And pivot again. And we'll keep doing that, tweaking it and getting the best. I mean, Lynn did that.
We had, I don't know, 30 shows, or how many we had?
No,
30, 40, something like that.
We've done 40 odd shows, I think, and there's a few of those, and we are going to apologize now in advance. There are a few people that have been on the show and won't actually make it to the audio podcast. We will tell everybody, and we'll explain as to why. What we really want to do is we want to get people on the show that do genuinely have something valuable, some great information, and have got great experience in what they do. This isn't a show to come on and just sell yourself and talk about what you are and what you do, and just talk about yourself. We want to chat with you. We want to have a conversation, and I'm passionate about that as well. I'm passionate about getting the right people on the show. We definitely agree on this, Adrian, and in fact a lot of the people we've spoken to that do podcasts agree in that as well, don't they?
Exactly, yeah. So we get that there are people out there that just want to get some podcasts or different other platforms to promote their new idea or business and all that, but the truth is some of them, they're not ready for any of those yet. They just have an idea and that's all. But what we're looking for is more like for mainstream processes and actually very detailed stuff that can help anyone. Because like I said, first of all, we want to help ourselves, and we think whatever's going to help ourselves is going to help you as well. That's the way how we try to choose the guests, and go with things that are going to help everyone in every domain, business, niche, whatever you want to call it, right? Yeah.
Listen, it's for us all. It's for us all to learn together. We the whole point of doing this show was that so we can learn stuff together. I never stop learning. Adrian never stops learning. We're on a quest to learn as much as we can. And if we can learn, there is going to be hundreds, if not thousands, and potentially millions of people worldwide that are starting businesses, have started businesses, are in the first few years of business, or have been running for years and want to find out new ways of doing things. There's always a chance to pivot in business, whether it's new, whether it's been running a while, whether it's a business that's old. In fact, if the business has been running for many, many years, this is probably some of the best time you're ever going to get to pivot right now, because it's so rich for information out there. And we really genuinely do get a lot of people wanting to come on the show that are from all sorts of walks of life and have got all sorts of types of experience. So it's really important to do that. And I'm really passionate about that. So please, if you do come on the show and you want to come on, then make sure you've got something pivotal. Make sure you've got something that is, juicy, that we can get our teeth into, we can find out, because that's what we want. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to find out. We want to find out for everybody, us, you, everybody watching and listening. And it becomes a good podcast, then, or good live, then we're going to make sure that goes on and becomes an audio podcast as well. So think about this, do it right. People buy from people. People want to find out about what it is that you can do and what you've got that's a bit special, your differentiator. And what was the word you came out with last night, Adrian?
I don't remember now, honestly. Must have been tired.
But we got those things. So that's what I want to say on that side. So from the 1st of September, 7 p.m, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we'll be live, and we are going to be doing some special recorded shows as well. Now, how are we going to put those out there? Well, at the moment, we've just been putting them out on these profiles. We're not just putting them out on Essex Business Radio. We've been putting it on others. But Essex Business Radio is the platform that I've been building, and now Adrian's helping build as well. And we've really been getting out there completely organically, guys, completely organically. There has been no paid ads. There's been nothing but just some basic posts going out. And we're about to level up on that. Why?
Yeah, what started as a hobby, it's going to turn into a proper real thing, and I'll let you say why now, Elliot.
Why and how? Well, okay, so Essex Business Radio, as you said, was literally, we thought it was a great name to be doing podcasts rather than just being based on my name and being about me. I was never about me. The shows were never about me. Yes, I put my name on them, but they're never really about them. It was always about the people we're speaking to, and the value that we can do together with the guests, that we can give to our audience, you guys there, the people that are watching and listening. Listen, we may not have the biggest amount of people following and watching the shows right now, but they are growing. And the podcasts, we have held back from putting the audio podcasts up and publishing those for the last few weeks because we've got something interesting coming with Essex Business Radio. So I don't know whether you guys know, but we actually have been streaming some of the old shows. What I mean by streaming, a little bit like this live is going on now, but you can actually click on a button and listen to podcasts that are streaming 24 hours a day. Now, don't bother clicking on the button on the Forge Management website now, because he's going to be listening to some old shows. But there are some fireside chat shows there and C19 shows that are on there. However, it's going to change because we're adding music to Essex Business Radio. So we're going to become an online radio streaming channel. Now, I'm excited about this. In fact, I think that's worthy of one of these, to be honest. Don't you? Thanks very much.
Yeah,
Tom.
Our raving fans. Yeah, definitely. They never get tired.
We never get tired of those. We have got music that's going to be streaming from the 1st of September. In fact, probably is going to be next week. We're going to be doing some tests. In fact, when we do, we may actually get you guys to go on there and check it out. But from the 1st of September, there will be a program. There will be shows. We have a breakfast show. All being well, that will be going ahead from the 1st of September as well, from 8 till 8:30. About 25 minutes to show is as as well by a marketing guy. Very, very cool. We're going to tell you about him next week. And then there will be the Pivotal Podspective and also some fireside chat shows going on through the day as well. And then there will be the live shows as well. And we also have a money mindset coach who does a podcast as well that is also going to be going on there as well. So we are going to have the live shows going on. We're going to have music. It's going to be playing virtually, the top hits that are going on in the UK at the moment. So you're going to have some pop and some house and some bits and pieces going on. And also, whether we do this in the first week or not, we've got to do some programming, but we will be having Thursday, Friday and Saturday nights. We're going to be having some house and club music playing as well. So a little bit like a radio station, but more based around podcasting. So that's more the feel we want. We're not going to have a DJ that's going to be going, oh, this track's coming on. You want to listen to a podcast and it can be split up with music. It's just going to break up the chatting a little bit. And so you have a real good rounded edutainment, platform. A bit renegade. What do you say, Abe? It's a little bit renegade in what we're doing.
Yeah. We try to make it to suit everyone. It's still going to be your own business. Yeah. So that's what we want to tell you. Business mindset, things like this, but a bit of music, I don't think it hurts anyone. So that's why you can just listen to us when you're in your car and enjoy it.
Yeah. And so that will be playing, normally, and we'll be giving you the links for those things as well. But you can also listen to it on demand. So we will have them available as podcasts, audio podcasts, which will be on Essex Business Radio. And of course, we have the app as well, guys. So on the app, you'll be able to get all of those shows as and when you want to listen to them. You'll be able to click on the app and listen to whatever is playing at that stage. And we're going to have posts going out on social media to let you know what shows are going to be going on. And also then you'll all be able to play literally on demand the audio podcast. You'll be able to go to YouTube and watch the videos and things as well. So that is the news we had. I think that's big news, Adrian. I mean, we're leveling up right now, aren't we?
We have to. We're forced. Yeah, we can't stay in the same place, so we have to every few months,
Yeah. And we're going to try it like that for a little while, and we want to get everybody's feedback and see what they think about it and see that they're using it. The app is free, so you'll be able to download the app and you can go and find that at any good app store, the Essex Business Radio app. So you'll be able to get that there. And, there's loads of stuff that's going to be going on. We've got some really cool guests lined up. We have also, political, local politician, local councillor, things like that are around here and around Essex that are going to be affecting business owners. So there's going to be conversations there, local entrepreneurs as well. If you're an entrepreneur in Essex and you want to get on the show, we want to hear from you. We've definitely got a few people lined up and some names as well. So we're going to be telling you about that over the next week or two as things get rolling and we get people booked in. There may be some lives, but unfortunately, not always can we get people that unfortunately, that maybe have a bit more of a following, a bit more of a busy life. They aren't necessarily going to be able to do the lives, although we will try our very best to get them on live as well. So we've got a few people over here. We've got Brentwood Cakes. Let's have a little look who we've got here. Household UK, keen to assist. A little wave over there to a few people on Instagram. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. Make sure you go over onto Facebook and go and check us out, Essex Business Radio, Forge Management, Elliot Brown, or Adrian Dorobantu, or you can check out YouTube as well. Get over to YouTube, of course. What do they got? What do they do on YouTube, Adrian? What is it that the Americans say?
What do they say?
You have to smash the like button, subscribe, and smash that like button.
But so not just Americans.
Yeah,
everyone's saying that now. So yeah. Smash the like button and
smash that like button. And if I was to do that right, when we record that, when we polish these up, then we'd have a little like button pop up and a subscribe thing pop up on the screen as well.
It's almost like save a tier, smash the like button and subscribe. Otherwise, you're gonna have us in tears if you don't do it.
Is that right? Is that what they say?
Yeah, I've seen there is a guy that I'm watching, and every time he says something like something really sad is going to happen if you don't smash the like button and subscribe and things like that. He changes every episode, so yeah.
Look, we've got my mum, obviously biggest fan. Hi, Elliot, Adrian. Thanks, Mum. Hi, big love to you.
Hello, it is Mum.
And what have we got over here? I have RTT stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy and what it does. Would love to educate people and explain how we can change our belief system rapidly and permanently. Thank you. We don't know who you are, but please get over onto the Facebook page, click on the send message button and get on a show. And we have had a couple of people that do very similar to you. So I think this is a good area. I've always been a little skeptical of certain people that do what this Facebook user does. So we'll be getting you and somebody else on the show possibly, and we'll have questions for both of you, but we'll also have questions for you singularly as well. And we want to hear opinions.
Yeah, especially because you use the term rapid and permanently. That's usually, not happen. Yeah. That doesn't usually happen, but we're happy to hear about that.
RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy. Oh, well, I mean, listen, if you've got something that you think is pivotal and works, and you've got proof of that, and you can absolutely, I mean, maybe you can come on the show, and help us to rapidly transform.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. I probably need to rapidly transform, to be fair. I rapidly transformed just for the show because we were talking about cars and I got all into a bit of a state, didn't I, Adrian? Got a bit of a state. Here's me. I've got a guest on. I've got all this stuff to tell everybody, and we're arguing over bloody Audi S8s. A8s S8s. But Adrian is an absolute extraordinaire when it comes to cars. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to find out he was fucking right about what he was saying as well. I reckon in 1 year they didn't make an S8. If anybody knows, hit me up. Drop us in the comments below. What does anybody know about Audi S8s? Adrian knows everything about cars. I mean, not being funny, you're like an encyclopedia of vehicles, aren't you, my friend?
Yeah, but that's still enough for some people. Just leave it there.
Sure. I mean, listen, if you want to know, what Adrian and I both do, well, Adrian, what is it that you do?
Ask us. Yeah, just ask us. What
do you do, Adrian?
Well, lately I'm doing strategies mostly. Okay, so I'm working marketing, online digital marketing, whatever you want to call it, but it's a very, very big domain, and there are many branches in that, right? And I initially tried to specialize on chatbots, which are just little robots that talk with you on social media. That's where I do my chatbots. But lately, in the last couple of months, I have started working mainly with companies on strategies, right? And I'm talking about big companies now, companies that sell at least over £200,000 per month worth of products. And I'm talking now basically e-commerce, physical products. Yeah. We work on strategies, which usually include social media, obviously chatbots, but we also include some upsells, downsells, how to optimize their websites, and what products to bring into the range to just make it easier for everyone. Outsourcing freelancers to do some of the work, just because I'm a one-man band.
Yeah,
and it's difficult to do all those things together, and that's something that me and Elliot are working on. Just because I think it's a very, very important side of every business. And that's pretty much what I do. I just basically help businesses to level up a bit, sell a bit more, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think you're downplaying yourself a little bit, but yeah, that gives you a rough idea of what Adrian does. And myself, well, I in essence I do coach people, but it's not what I really would put out there as I do. I tend to coach people as a natural thing. I don't go in and tell people exactly what they have to do with their business. It's about going in and finding out where the best areas the best ways they can get out themselves, the best things they can get from themselves and their team, but strategies as well, looking at that, but we also like to support. So it's not just about going in and helping them. What we like to do is take some pressure off, give them some support, some admin support, being reactive and proactive on that side as well. And then while we're doing that, also then saying, tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to work with you and I'm going to help you to move that business forward. And it may take, 3, 6, 7 months to get there. What we'll do is we will have the business ready for the next phase. And then this is at a time when Adrian and I will then go, now we need to look at these areas, and now we can really help these people level up. So we are going to be coming out with something that's quite interesting, and we're going to be telling you that over the next couple of months, more than likely. In fact, well, actually, we're going to tell you about the next couple of weeks, to be fair. So we have a product and a service coming out. That's not what this show is about. We're not here to sell ourselves, but we do have something that will help micro businesses and SMEs and SMBs, your smaller businesses that really do need the support. In fact, actually, if it wasn't for the micro businesses and the SMEs, we wouldn't have a way of supporting our, the business world right now, because these are the companies that are going to be supporting the economies moving forward, the people that are able to pivot, the people that are able to change and diversify. And that's really those are the companies that we really want to concentrate on working with, because we're passionate about that, aren't we? I mean, we're both in that arena ourselves as well, so
Exactly.
anything we could do to help. And I've got vast knowledge, been in all sorts of different industries, so that helps me to get a helicopter view over people's businesses and be able to give them some valid advice, which sometimes I sort of think, well, you're going to know these things, I'm telling you what you would already know, but sometimes they do know these things. It's about reminding as well as going, actually, this would be a better path to go down. So that's what we do. We help small businesses, and it's all about growth, adopting, adapting, pivoting, and genuinely improving their business. And operational excellence is a great phrase I like to use. It is about that. If we can get some sort of operational excellence and get the business working really well, really effectively, really efficiently, then that is the path we definitely want to take. So all very cool. And really excited about what's going on right now, and the changes that have been going on, Adrian. I mean, you and I definitely don't see what's been happening this year as a huge negative impact on things, do we?
I don't think it's just us, to be honest. Most of the people that discuss with, they say the same. Like I said, you look at I think anything that is like tourists, like I said, flights and stuff like that, they're not that good. But other than that, even like small restaurants, they turn into delivery places and they're making tons of money, way more than they've done before, with the reduced cost of operation, because they don't need to keep everything open like before and don't need to have that many employees. In terms of online, everyone needs to, lots of people moved online. They came up with brilliant ideas. And now I was talking with someone, as humanity, it's very difficult to pivot or to evolve if you get very comfortable. And that's what most of the people were until now. Let's be honest. Sure. Okay. And whatever happened, it just forced us to come out from our shell a bit and try to look at a bigger picture, and then try to look in the real world and see a few more things. And then you decide what you want to do. Like I said, in my opinion, after everything gets done, many people are not going to go back to work just because they don't want to, actually. Not just because they won't have a job, just because they don't want to do that, and because they figured out they can do other things that just brings them more happiness in their life. Not necessarily more money, but at least more happiness.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, there's people that are quite happy that they're being made redundant right now. There's a lot of people that are in situations where they can be supported. They haven't got to do the traveling they did. So, life is changing, and in fact, because life is changing, then businesses are changing as well. The way businesses are operating. I worked for a company called Neopost for quite a few years, post room equipment, obviously, sending letters out and things like that. Now, I still speak to the guys there. A very good friend of mine, Scott Bedwood, I've actually mentioned on the show before. They've changed their name to Quotidient, or something like that. Anyway, they used to be Neopost, Quotidient, I think, or something like that. And they're really working now because things have changed. But because businesses still need to send out mail, or maybe it's emails or whatever they need to do, it's more software based now. It's not physical, but they're having to pivot. They're having to change. They're having to change the structure of the business. And of course, they're making people redundant because they don't need the sales guys out there. I was speaking to him today. Literally, I said, when was the last time you sat in front of a customer, a client? And he said, I haven't done for 6 months. It doesn't mean he's not doing business. The problem is he's coming up with solutions in certain companies where you, beforehand, you used to be able to walk into there and look at the processes they were doing and go and speak to people that were doing those processes. Now, you don't get that feel. And this is where things are starting to change. They're having to adapt because you won't have to do it on a Zoom call. Now, does that person on the Zoom call know everything about the processes they do in the business? So it means you've got to speak to more people. Well, that's only like going back to the basics in selling many, many years ago, where you'd have to speak to a receptionist and then the operator and then somebody in management. So, you've still got to gather the same information. You've just got to do it in a different format. That's all. So it's a little bit more about planning and preparation. And that definitely is something that I have learnt the hard way more recently, and in fact is something that we definitely want to help people with by helping them to plan and prepare and get themselves better organized.
Yeah, exactly. And last Saturday or Sunday, I had a discussion with someone who was a bit anti-technology, let's say, okay? And I said, yeah, I agree there are things that technology maybe is taking off jobs and things like that. And it's a very big topic to debate and very, very, it depends on everyone. For me, technology is good because, and probably for it as well, just because we love technology and we tend to embrace it quickly and see how we can use it for us. But now let's take even some of the companies, like you said in the past, and maybe the guys with the post in the past, they had very loads of manual work and stuff like that. Okay. And because times are evolving, probably because they were very, very busy, they didn't have time to watch and expand, or not necessarily expand, but adapt to the new changes, or bring in new solutions, stuff like that. And so rather than have a company with 1,000 people that are doing very, very laborious work, and none of them are happy, because let's be honest, most of them, they spend about like 20 years there not being happy at all. And you have to shut it down when something like this comes on, like a big change or COVID or whatever you want to call it. You have to shut it down and send everyone home. Yeah. I'll rather have a business with just 500 people with more technology that is very easy to adapt it when something bad happens, or a very, very big change comes on,
Yeah.
At least you're still gonna have that business and pay the wages for 500 more people rather than close it and send 1,000 people home.
Yeah. It's all about change. It's all about change, and that's what is great about this show is we're getting people that aren't just here in Essex. We're getting people from all over the world, and we've had South Africa, we've had Africa,
Australia,
Australia,
US a lot.
Yeah, and it's good because you get to understand what lots of people are doing. You can always learn. You may think, oh, that's not my industry, it's not my country. Yeah. But do you know what? There'll be something that they say, something that when they come on this show that will go, do you know what? I could pinch that idea. That's a great idea. I could take a little bit of that, give it a little tweak and make it work for what I'm doing. And, there may be people, and I'm hoping there are budding entrepreneurs, the whole new generation of entrepreneurs, people that are just leaving school that maybe haven't got the results they wanted, maybe got better results than they wanted, maybe feel a bit hard done by the results they wanted because of the way this year has gone. And, I mean, not be funny, but Rob Moore, has actually put a post out and said that anybody that isn't happy about their results, but they have an entrepreneurial flair, get in contact because he may have a job for them. There is always a place. Doesn't matter what results you get. I didn't come away from school with A levels. I came away from half decent GCSEs. In fact, I dropped out of sixth form because I was a few months in and really didn't think it was for me. This is the short version, by the way, and virtually got advised to leave. So I did, and I went on my own entrepreneurial path, which is a whole nother story. But, and I've learned a huge amount along the way. Do you know what? I wish there was platforms like this. I wish there was things like that then. There was books you could have read, and I did read certain things. And I did learn a lot, and I still learned from the experiences I had. But it's so much easier now, isn't it, Adrian, to learn? Even, I mean, you're a few years younger than me, but even when you were younger, it's still damn sight easier now to learn from the internet and podcasts and books and videos and YouTube than it ever was before.
Exactly, and that's why it's free information at the end of the day, guys. You just need to, it's your choice. You can either pay thousands and thousands of dollars, euros, pounds, whatever you want, or tens of thousands of dollars, and go and do loads of courses and trainings that you're probably never really going to put into practice, or stay a bit and try to, I don't know, take a few shows that you like, a few people on YouTube, a few persons in the area that you like to learn more, and just follow them strictly for months, get things that they say and put them into practice. Because it's difficult as well if you follow 100 people all talking about the same topic. It's a bit difficult unless you have a very analytical mind and you just stream all the information and take all the main ideas from them, like I say. So from 100 people, if 80 talk about one topic and it's quite hot, then you need to know that that's where the things are going to go.
Analytical aid, we could call you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what goes to Elliot. Expressive Elliot. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll leave the names there. And in fact, we've talked about doing some shorter podcasts because we've learned a lot. I mean, the people we've had on the show so far, we've learned a lot from many people, and we've learned also how not to do stuff as well. And I know that's a phrase I've used many.
Yes. Yeah.
And so we actually want to put together some short, and I like 7, so it'll be very, very short, 7-minute, boom, straight in there with some valuable information on some topics that we're going to basically be sticking in all over the place. So we're going to be working over those on the next couple of months. So keep an eye out for those because I think they're going to be quite cool. I mean, I think in 7 minutes, you probably get enough information you need to. And then if you want to find out more, there'll probably be a pointer to a particular show that we have done where you can get some more information. Listen, you haven't got to watch all of these or listen to all these podcasts. Find something that you like. Find something that is relevant to you, and you don't even need to listen to all of it. At some stage, we will transcribe them so we can basically break down points on when you can, go to 5 minutes, 8 minutes when they're talking about certain subjects. It is things we're working on, but this is all about us trying to level up and improve things as we go to make it easier for you guys to get the information.
Exactly. Vicky put a comment if you want to just put it on the screen.
Yes. Hi, Vicky Fletcher. Thank you very much.
Hi, Vicky.
I haven't spent a penny on any courses for myself or my business. Blogs, Facebook groups, etc. are far more useful and instant. Do you know what, Vicky? I completely agree with you. Although saying that, I've said that for years, in fact, and Adrian knows this, but I've actually started reading a couple of books recently. In fact, this is one of the first books I started. Now, some of you will know this book, and it's a very famous book, although I'd never read it. And this is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I didn't say that into the mic then. I've listened to the audio book probably 2 or 3 times while getting ready in the mornings. And even, to be fair, when just getting up and getting ready, making a cup of tea, doing some exercises, doing some breathing techniques and things like that, which I'd never done before. But I have a coach, and he's an incredible guy. He's going to be coming on, actually. We're going to get him on the show. He's somebody that I've actually wanted to listen to. One of the first things he advised me to read, actually, knowing that I love number 7s, and I've got a big thing about 7s. Which you guys may or may not know. And so as soon as I said that, he said, "Have you ever read it?" And I said, "No." He went, "Wow, I can't believe you haven't." So it was the first thing I did. I went and bought that, and it's really, really good. The audio book, I've actually got the workbook version of it, which I got on. Is it Audible? Is it Audible?
Audible is the soft. Yeah, exactly. The one from Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you listen. If you don't want to read books, then go on Audible. You get one book free straight off anyway. There are other, I think Blinkist as well. I think Blinkist you might get some free audio books as well. Do you know of any others, Adrian? I think there's probably a few.
Not really, not right now. But Audible and Blinkist probably they are the biggest ones. Yeah.
But so I completely agree with Vicky. Absolutely. A little wave over here to London Networker. Thanks very much for joining us. Go over onto the Facebook and go and check us out over there if you want to watch the show live.
I agree with Vicky as well. I'll just tell Vicky, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm talking from someone that spent quite a few money on courses.
Yeah, you and me.
Yeah, exactly. But I think sometimes courses they just validate an idea. And that's why I try to make really sure about what you're trying to do or the path that you're trying to go. And I wouldn't spend money on courses, but I'll spend money on masterminds. I've been on a few masterminds, and that's where the real information that you don't really get into books or courses, it is. Unfortunately, those are quite expensive. And again, you have to be very careful not going and waste money on masterminds. But I'll definitely start with books, and then Facebook groups and all that, and sometimes even forums and stuff like that. If you know to look in the right places, like Reddit's a very, very big, very, very huge source of inspiration for things and knowledge. So you can look over there as well. And then once you know some stuff, then you can go a bit to higher level.
We've got Francesca, who's also been and made comments on the show a number of times. Francesca a Pinamang. I think if I've hopefully pronounced that correctly, although I'm pretty bad at pronouncing these names, as Adrian knows. Still learning and open to any guidance. Well, keep on watching and listening to our shows, and Francesca, because we are all learning together. And she said, yes, 7 is my favourite, 27 to be exact. Breathing techniques are important. Do you know what? I didn't realise, and this sounds silly. Well, actually, it doesn't sound silly, right? I had a very good friend of mine, Ben, who he won't come on the show because he does not like doing things like this. I'd love him to come on. I would say that I definitely mentor. He's quite a few years younger than me. And I in essence, probably a bit of a mentor to him over the years. I'm not being big-headed saying that. He would say that himself. In fact, now he mentors me at times as well, like Adrian and I both do. And we have people around us so we can do that. And that's great. You need to have people around you that can give you advice and can give you honest opinions as well, and not just stroke your ego, a bit like the conversation we had last night when we were chatting about being very, very honest. But anyway, so Ben, I told Ben about this drinking water and the breathing techniques about a week ago, and he was a little bit flippant about it. He was yeah, I drink water. I said, no, drink water first thing in the morning, down a glass of water, down one at night, down one first thing in the morning, and then when you're got the kettle on and you're making your coffee, don't just have a coffee first thing, do some breathing. And I went through the breathing techniques. Now, we've done shows recently, and a few people have done these breathing techniques, and they're good. I've probably adopted my own now, and I've got some other techniques as well, and maybe we're going to have shows and we're going to be chatting to people definitely moving forward on how that can help. Anyway, he's I spoke to a couple of days later. He went, yeah, I drank the water, feel much better. He rang me this morning and he said, I have to tell you, he said, I downed a pint of water yesterday. He said, I did the breathing techniques. I breathed in so deep. He said it felt like my chest was going to explode. He said, I did that for 5 times and I did what you said. And he said, do you know what? I had the best day I've had for a very, very long time. And I was impressed myself when I did the first few times I did it, that how different I felt, and how much more focused I felt. Now, the mad thing is, it's like, well, we're only breathing and we're only drinking water. Well, I'm not being funny, but those are the 2 main things that we need to survive. So if you can take that in first thing in the morning, loads of oxygen, make yourself, get yourself into the right space, drink water. I'm not being funny, Adrian. It's not rocket science, is it? Yet, how is it that I've gone through all these years without doing those things straight off?
Exactly, just because it's like I said, some things we take them for granted, all right, or we don't really. But when they say little things are the ones that matter sometimes, in life.
That's all right.
That's true. But that's really true, and we tend to forget those little things, most of the times, and that's why we just pass those. Like you said, just a bit of water, breathing in the morning, first thing that you do, rather than take your phone first thing that you do in the morning when you wake up and watch it to see how many likes, messages, emails you had, even though sometimes you have fuck all. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't even do that now. I don't look at the phone for the first hour. I make sure that I actually...
Normally, we shouldn't even have the phone with us in the room when we're sleeping, and stuff like that. Same with the TV. But yeah.
Yeah, and we are definitely going to be having, Alan is definitely going to come on the show. Alan and Kleinhaus, I think, is the way to pronounce his name correctly. Great speaker, works with Tony Robbins. Incredible guy. I've got big love for the guy. He's definitely helped to start me changing. In fact, I've probably slipped off that wagon a little bit this afternoon. Got a bit bogged down with certain things, and then I did compose myself in the end, to be fair. But I've got to. It's so difficult because you're so used to getting wound up, so stressed with certain things. It's actually difficult sometimes to get that clarity and go, do you know what? I've got to snap out of it. We quite like doing these shows because it actually helps us to snap out of things sometimes. Anyway, we've had a difficult day, Adrian.
Oh yeah. And especially sometimes on the wrong people.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, Francesca's made another comment here, so we're going to pop it up on the screen. I'm a counsellor and I've learned that people do not stop to breathe. You both share so much knowledge that money can't buy. Appreciate you. Oh, big love to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Francesca.
You know what? I'm pleased. That's exactly what I want to do. Ashley has said, I like breathing through a snorkel in the sea. Well, it's useful. if you're underwater and you want to breathe, I suppose. But yeah,
I think it's really, I think it's really cool.
I'm being a bit pedantic there, No, do you know what? There's a lot to be said for breathing through a snorkel. Not everybody can do that, can they? Correctly. But yeah,
well, especially if the snorkel is underwater. Yeah.
yeah, which is what I was sort of getting at. But Ashley, we're taking the piss. Ashley Curtin, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for your comment. Yes, we've got a sense of humour here. That's all I'd say. Francesca also then saying, well, lol, Adrian, you are right. We do not have TVs in the bedroom. Do you know what? It's a valid point. In fact, I thought yesterday I might take the TV out of the bedroom. I'm not really watching it right now. I think it'd probably be better placed in my son's bedroom or probably used as a monitor around here somewhere as well. Maybe that would be what you do, isn't it, Adrian?
Yeah, well, me and my girlfriend, my fiance, just not get her upset. We moved into a new place, and we have basically in every room, a socket for the TV and all that. And I said, I don't want any TV in the bedroom. Yeah. There's no point in that, right? Just have one in the living room, a big one and all that thing. But even then, I told her, please don't put anything like Sky, or I don't want cable to the TV, just because, first of all, we don't really have time to watch it. And I don't think I've watched proper TV in years, to be honest. I'm not interested about the news that show the TV and all that stuff. I mainly watch them for maybe a Netflix movie and stuff like that. But even then, it's very difficult for me, because if I know that I don't have something, I don't need it or I don't want it. I just want it for the moment, then I just forget about it and that's it. If I find something really cool, maybe on Netflix, it's difficult to help myself to not watch the whole TV series in one go and stop being productive. Yeah. And that's why, less you have, I think it's easier to get more focused on things. And let's be honest, you have plenty of things to do in one day without a TV.
Absolutely. And if you get bored, if anybody ever says that they get bored to me, I just think, seriously, how do you have the time to get bored? There is no time to get bored. Fill that gap with something productive, something useful, guys, because there is no time to get bored in this world. There are way too many things to do. And in fact, if you ever think you want to get bored, you've got nothing to do, switch a bloody television on. That's the time to switch a television on. If you've got nothing to do at all, maybe you've got both legs broken, maybe there's some reason you cannot move, then stick a television on. But otherwise, listen, I'm not saying don't watch films, but don't stick the bloody news on. Don't watch the news right now, guys. This is really not where you want to be. Do not surround yourself with what is going on. Pull yourself away from it, because we've had this conversation. I've had this conversation numerous times with, but people in the political world, people in the business world, people in the entertainment world, many different people. And those people I've spoken to in the last couple of months, I don't have that conversation about, oh, what's been going on here? Oh, this is really impacting me, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I know stuff's impacting people and I know it's impacting them negatively, but you've got to pull away from that, because you will draw that to you and that will not have a good impact on your life or the people around you. So pull away from that. There's plenty of stuff. You listen, if it's that important, you will find out about it on bloody social media. You don't need to stick to it.
And even if you find out 2 weeks after, if it didn't affect you, probably it wasn't worth for you finding out. So Stop worrying about that.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's not me being ignorant. That is genuinely me looking at things slightly differently from a lot of people. And there's a lot of people out there that are sort of soaked up with what is going on. And I think you're going to find it's way more difficult to pull yourself out of it as the world starts to get to what is the new normal. I don't want to be talking about that too much, but with Francesca's busy girl, I like this. You're definitely getting involved in the show. Challenge your mind. Watch Line of Duty, best British drama. I've heard that actually, and I'm not averse, Francesca, to certain series. There was somebody recommended a series, actually, American series that was really good about things about American football, but it's quite good, mindset wise. I like a good film. I like to be taken away from reality with a good film. I like the Marvel films. I like all sorts of stuff that is just fantastical, I like to call it.
Yeah, but talking about TV series, something really cool that we both liked, it was the Billionaire, the TV series. Yeah, Billions TV series. Exactly. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah. You don't have to take everything from there, but even there, the main actor, was emphasizing onto the breathing techniques, having a coach and someone to, like, a performance coach and all that. And just you could learn a lot about how to be in business from that TV series. And that's the thing that me and Elliot, at least, we like to watch. Things that you can take, something from watching how people get drunk on islands in Ibiza or somewhere else. It's just not for me. I can see that, at any club if I go. So I can see live is more fun.
That's very, very true. But Francesco, I will check that out. I have seen Line of Duty, I think, on Netflix. So there'll be probably something that I will definitely dive into at some stage. Listen, I think we probably covered a few subjects there. It's been a good little chat. I definitely wanted to talk about what we're doing. And if you've only just joined or you're watching this and you've maybe fast forwarded it on YouTube towards the end of the show, then just want a little reminder that the Pivotal Podspective is going to be at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from the 1st of September. And we are looking for guests, and check out our social media for the sorts of guests that we want to be getting on the show. And if you would like to get on with somebody that's in the same arena as you, then we're going to be getting you on the screen. So it'll be both Adrian and myself here, and then Adrian there, and then below over here will be one guest, and then over there will be another guest below us. And this is all done on StreamYard, guys, which is a very, very simple process. We drop you a link and you click on there. You haven't got to have any software. You've got to have anything downloaded and ready to go. You literally click on it. It's so seamless, so easy. And then we will be recording the whole show as we do. And then if it turns out to be a good audio podcast, we'll be putting that and publishing that as a audio podcast as well. So that gives you a second bite of the cherry to get yourself out there. But we really genuinely want to hear from anybody that has something that's juicy, something that's definitely pivotal, something they've done, some experience they've had that they've had to change, a big change they've had. Maybe they've got a really successful business. Maybe you're an Essex entrepreneur, or maybe you are a sports person that you are your own business. If you're a DJ, you are your own business. Listen, we are all our own businesses. You may have something pivotal that you've learned in an experience in a job, or maybe you've got something brand new that you want to try out that you think is going to be the next big thing to help people pivot in their business. Who knows what you've got? We would love to hear from you. Go over to the Essex Business Radio Facebook page, click on send message, say get on a show, and Elliot Bot will take you through a few questions. At the moment that is set like that, we are going to change that next week. So we're going to update that. So you can wait till next week. However, we will probably check you out on the questions that are there now because they're still relevant. We're just going to polish it up a little bit, aren't we, Adrian?
Exactly. Yeah. Just to help ourselves to get a bit more info about you and a bit better decisions and know how to pair people when we do the shows.
Yeah, definitely. So if you're interested in coming on Pivotal Podspective, keep watching next week. We're going to have more information for you. We've got a couple of guests next week. In fact, we're going to do another show like this on Tuesday, more than likely, and I want to be covering a couple of subjects that we're going to be going over and probably give you a list of the sorts of people we want to get on the show as well. So that's the Pivotal Podspective, 7 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, going from this 1st of September. We are at 9 p.m. next week for the for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So make sure you tune in. You can catch us across Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, pretty well virtually everywhere. So you can find out what's going on. But look out for some posts next week. The other big news, of course, is Essex Business Radio is leveling up, everybody. So on Essex Business Radio, we are adding music in, which is going to be streaming live on our online radio platform. You'll be able to catch that on the Essex Business Radio app, which you can download free from any good app stores. And you can also be able to download or sort of play on demand most, if not all, of the podcasts as well. If you want to get your podcast on Essex Business Radio, we want to hear from you. You've got to be personable. You've got to have some life to you. You've got to have something a bit different. What we do not want to do is get people on like so many podcasts. I'm not knocking any podcasters. It's a big podcast world out there, but we don't want anybody coming on just telling people how to do things because that's how they do it. What we want to be doing is having some edutainment. Give it some edgy. Be a renegade. If you've got a new show, it doesn't matter. If you've got something that's juicy and good, then that's great. We've got a breakfast show. We're going to have other shows coming on. We've got a money mindset show, and we've got some other stuff going on as well. And it's not just going to go on the Essex Business Radio online radio platform. Essex Business Radio is going across all of the platforms and profiles, so you can get your chance to go out there as well. And as our audience grows, your audience grows. Let's work together. This is all about helping all of the micro businesses, SMEs, SMBs, entrepreneurs, wannabe entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, children entrepreneurs even as well, although we do swear occasionally, so maybe you have to be a bit careful on that side. But
we can hold ourselves in that situation, so yeah.
We definitely can. But there's some very young entrepreneurs, there's some very bright kids going that are looking at things online and are starting businesses. So who knows, happy to get those on as well. If you think you've got something for the show, then get in contact. Adrian, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for this evening.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Elliot. And thank you very much to everyone. You had quite
everybody for watching, and this possibly will get turned into an audio podcast. I think we probably will. Why not? There's a bit of information in here as well. So check out that over the coming month. And if you want to know and see and hear about all the podcasts that we've done, all the shows that we've done, and we're going to be turning probably 70 to 80% of those into audio podcasts. They're already being produced. They will be going up as of the 1st of September. Along with the live stuff that's going on as well. So we combine it all. I did say I was going to do it this month, but there's a good reason to be doing it next month and combining it all together. So there's going to be loads of stuff for you guys to listen to, and you can check it out live or pretty well, Essex Business Radio on demand. All good. I've enjoyed the show. Thanks very much. Thanks, guys, for watching. This has been the Pivotal Podspective on Essex Business Radio. Thanks very much, Vicky Fletcher. Thank you for watching. And one very quick last thing from Francesca. I've had clients that get anxiety from watching the news. That then runs through their day. Be careful what you let into your eye gate or ear gate. Thank you, guys. Keep up the great work. What a great way to end. And thanks from Vicky Fletcher. Have a good evening. Have a good evening, guys. Thanks very much for watching. This has been the Pivotal Podspective, and I'm going to say ciao for now.
Brown cow.
Yeah.